before I was 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So, me being busy with my hands, I've got to be doing something with my hands, just like you're doing.
Yeah, my fiddle.
I've got to be doing something with my hands all the time. And my mother, to keep my hands out of mischief, taught me how to knit. So, the knitting was second nature to me by the time I was 7 or 8 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And the class was going to be taught how to knit. And I thought, oh dear.
Here we go again.
Here we go again. She puts a small ball of yarn on every desk and a pair of knitting needles. And I thought, oh gee, my mother taught me to knit on 4 needles, not 2.
Fancy.
I guess I'm going to have to learn how to use 2 needles. So I thought, well, we've still got to cast on.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're only on 2 needles, you're going to have to keep going back and forth and back and forth, not round and round and round. So I sat there and I thought about it for a while, and by then I was knitting my own socks. I was knitting socks for my brothers, and of course that's 4 needles.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, okay, I know how to do the purl stitch because I have to do it on a ribbon. So I knit a whole row of purl stitches. I've got to keep the yarn on the side of the needle. Okay.
You figured it out.
She says, this is how you cast on your stitches. So I just gaily go ahead and do it. She says, now you're to cast on 20 stitches. So I cast on my 20 stitches and then I started knitting without bothering for her to say anything more. So I get as far as the purl row, and she happens to come along my end of the row, and she said, what are you doing? I says, well, I've knit 1 row. I assumed you wanted us to purl the next row.
I'm surprised you weren't beaten.
And she says, purl? No, we were going to knit every row. I said, well, okay, I'll undo these stitches and I'll do them. I'll do them. Yeah. She says, do you know how to take back stitch? Yes. Oh, well, go ahead. So I took the stitches back and I knitted the next row. And here am I gaily knitting along, knitting every blinking row. Very boring. And the rest of the class is still stumbling with how to knit, let alone knitting rows back and forth. So she came to me and she said, you know how to knit, don't you? I said, yes, I do. My mother taught me. And she said, why didn't your mother teach you so young? I said, because she couldn't keep my hands still. My hands were always moving. I always had to be doing something with my fingers. And to keep them out of mischief, she taught me how to knit. She says, what have you knitted so far? I says, well, mostly socks, because I knit socks for my brothers. She says, I'll call on you when I need your help. I was about 8 at the time. And of course I'd been knitting for 4 years, nearly 4 years, and
oh my goodness, that's wonderful.
So anyway, by this time I was a class ahead of everybody my age anyway, because of my grandfather teaching me how to read.
Yeah.
And by the time I went to the second school, I could count to 100 without any problem. So that's when I was in a grade ahead of me, and I continued that way until we moved. And then when we moved, we went to a different kind of school. We went to a church. I went to a church school, and they were much looser than the other schools that I'd been to. If you didn't pass your grade, you stayed in the same class and did it again. Well, I never had that situation. I was always one class ahead. And it wasn't until it came to secondary school that I ran into problems. Now in England, if you're going to go to secondary school, you have to pass an exam at 11 years old. They give you the exam, a preliminary exam in your own school. If you pass that exam, you go to the secondary school, which is a totally different school. You go to the secondary school to take another exam. Now, this is supposed to be an oral exam, but there is some writing to it. The writing was to write a short story. It had to have a beginning, a middle, and an end. And you were given an hour. And you were to produce at least 2 pages, handwritten. Well, I didn't have any problem writing a story. I wrote a story about my cat. It didn't say it had to be about people, so I wrote a story about my cat. And that was taken. I never saw it again. We did mathematics from what was put up on the board, and we had to write what was on the board and then write the answer. And did that. And then we had an oral exam, and you were taken to a room, and there were 4 people sitting in this room, 2 men and 2 women. And one of the things that they asked you was a story. And they told the story. It was let me get use the thing for a minute. 2 people, a man and wife, were sitting in church, and the husband is looking at the prayer book, not the prayer book, the hymn book. He's looking at the hymn book, and his wife says, "Put that book away. You're supposed to be listening." It was the sermon. And he put the book beside him, and later on during the sermon he picked up the book again. So he put it on his lap and then made out as if he was asleep, as though he wasn't really looking at the book, he was asleep. And he was So she picks up the book, the hymn book, off his lap, bangs him on the head with it. Wake up. You're supposed to be listening. But he fell over. And he died. Now, I've missed a bit in here somewhere.
What is a story to tell a child?
Yeah, yeah. Well, we were 11 years old.
Oh,
We were growing up. I'm trying to think of the punchline in this, and I've forgotten it. Oh dear. Oh dear. It was what he was thinking. And he was thinking something about a line in the hymn. And he'd been humming it. And when she hit him on the head, it killed him. But she knew what he had been talking about to himself about this hymn. And I wish I could remember the name of the hymn and the name of the lines, but I can't at the moment. But anyway, she knew what he was doing. And anyway, she knocked him on the head and it killed him. And then the question about the story was, how did she know what he was saying about this hymn if the knock on his head killed him?
Okay.
Well, the answer was that she couldn't know. It was all just a story. I thought, well,
A trick question.
I mean, that's pretty obvious. And then, anyway, I got the right answer. Anyway, days go by, weeks go by, and the results come in from this oral examination we had. Out of the 7 girls from our school that went to have this examination, 2 of us passed. The other girl died of anyway, she died. And I, of course, I go home, take my certificate home with me. Mum, I won. I'm going to secondary school. You're not. Why not? We can't afford the uniform. So I didn't go to secondary school. I had to remain in elementary school until I was nearly 15. And I stayed in elementary school long after I was 14, when I should have left, because my teacher wanted me to take some special London County Council exams to give me some certificates of better learning. I actually stayed in the final class at that school for 3 years. Because you see, I was already 1 year ahead. And then because I stayed until I was nearly 15. I stayed there, and she was always giving me extra work to do. The only thing she could not get into my head was, oh dear, now what do you call that?
Still isn't there. She couldn't get into your head, and now it still isn't there.
It still isn't there. She couldn't get it into my head. What the dickens do you call it? Not geometry.
Excuse me. To get past you.